All right, so we are back with Elham, who's going to be giving us an update on how the Blue Engine's been going.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hope everyone is having a great December this year. This year was one of the best years in my life, and we have a lot of progress done, except for me because I had exams in my finals. But the community was not silent. They have been working with the engine to build new stuff, which is something that has never been done before since the engine's birth. So I'm really excited to show up some of them. We will go over the table of contents. So we have two games, one game here, Sailors of Oleth. It's a 2D pixel art game. And we also have scripting bindings, which is something that haven't been done before because the engine has not received any scripting language support before. And we will be discussing the future plans. So let's get started. Sailors of Oleth. I don't think I can play the videos, can I, Forrest? Um, there is a video on the slide.
I'm not
Can we
sure
play?
how it would get uploaded. And also, so if you send me the link to the video, I could try streaming it
Okay.
separately, but I don't know if audio would come through properly.
No,
You can give that a
it's
try, though.
not a problem to have no
Okay,
audio. It's just video. I'll upload it on the Discord too.
sounds good. Perfect.
Well, then
Yeah, I'm
we'll
not
go to
entirely
the next
sure.
slide then.
Perfect, perfect.
So the scripting bindings for language support. So the engine now have language scripting language support, which is something that I did not think was possible by the way the engine was structured. But one of the community members, Scorm, was able to bind the engine with his language, which is called Inscript. This is the sample code of the scripting language that he have, which you'll be able to do anything you want with the engine normally using Rust, but now using scripting language. So this opens a lot of doors for the engine and a lot of more support for things like hot reloading or having um, plugins, modding support, things like that. I have tried adding scripting language support before, but the engine was not ready. So I think now is, and we'll be seeing a lot more language being added and binded. And yeah, that is, yeah, we can go to the video. This is a 2D pixel art game by Pablo, which he has made the entire tiling system and physics and everything by himself. We do not have really good physics system implemented or tiling system, so he done the entire thing himself, and he made a whole structure which will be releasing soon on GitHub. I do not have links for it yet because it's private, but that is his progress on the game, and the asset and everything else will be credited to him and the place that he got in it. As you can see, it's not perfect. There are black lines on the tiles, which is entirely the issue of the engine itself, and we'll be fixing it soon. But this is the progress of showing that games can be built using the Blue Engine, especially pixel art games, and having the pixel perfect sizing to them.
Awesome. I'll
Um,
throw it back over to you.
thank you. And yeah, that was done by Pablo. So that is his tag on the community server. And this was by Scorm, which is the language support and the language and script support. And moving on, that was the two community supports that was big this year. We had a lot of new members on the Discord server that were new to Rust and possibly new to game development, but were choosing Blue Engine over the other engines. And the biggest thing that they liked for the engine was its lightweight nature and not having a lot of functionality built into it. So people seems like they want to build things themselves. So that includes the mechanics and the parts of the engine that they desire. So, like tool chains. So that was surprising for me, but the people loved it, so they joined the community server. And if you love it, you'll love Blue Engine. And for the future plans, we have some of them. Video tutorials, which is something I haven't done before, which I want to do. They'll be presented on YouTube and possibly the other platforms, maybe. These will include the video game development of a whole game using the Blue Engine and other functionalities that the engine may have. We'll be having written blogs, both in English and other language that may come along. I'm not sure where to post them. Maybe I'll find somewhere like Medium or have my own hosted on GitHub pages. But there will be blogs that you can follow along and build stuff using the engine. These will be updated after every major release. So because it's pretty hard to write tutorials after breaking changes. We'll be having skeletal animation support, which is pretty much experimental right now. I'm working on it hard and I'm really not good at it. But skeletal animation is something I've really wanted for a long time. It's the last thing that I need to add to give the engines a proper game development support. Even though it is not core of the library, but it will be added to utilities, utility crate. So you can use a skeleton animation there to make 3D games or 2D games however you want and import the models and animation from Blender or anything that supports Collada. Moving on, we will have better lighting. It's another pain point of the engine, which we didn't have really good 2D or 3D lighting. It was really basic blend fong lighting. So we'll be working on adding more lighting support and also things related to it, for example, sign distant field and ray marching. We'll have better batching support. The way the engine is structured right now is that everything is added at once, so there is no structure to it. So there will be plans on batching support to have batches of the objects to relieve the CPU of having the performance bottleneck, basically, and also a way of tree structures, which is something really good to have when using models from outside. For example, importing GLTF models. The tree structure will be plugin, of course. It will be providing a way that you can group things by parent and children structure, the objects basically. And we'll have more API exposed. So there are a lot of things on the inside of the engine that is not exposed. And those include like very core things. For example, the first render pass that is used for rendering the engine things itself. So those will be exposed along some other APIs, which are really core to the engine, and is gonna add to the philosophy of the engine being customizable to the core. And we'll have better pixel art support because a lot of things were missing from the pixel art, especially having errors and bugs with the edges of the pixel arts. We had improvements with the transparencies, but there still is a lot of issues that could be addressed. And finally, WASM support. The main issue with WASM I had in the past was the build size. So WASM, as you know, is on the web, and web is really hungry for smaller sizes because the smaller sizes always win and are easier to load on the both side, both the server and the clients. So WASM support was not really good with the engine because the build sizes would exceed 5 or 6 megabyte, which is something not acceptable to me. So I will be planning on building WASM support. And with the recent test I had, I was able to reduce the engine size from around 12 megabytes to around 3 or 2 megabytes. So that could be possible to move them to WASM. So uh, probably removing a lot of dependencies that are big, but yeah, we'll try because most of the size is coming from the web GPU and WinIt, which is the two things essential for the engine. So those will be the plans, but we'll see how it goes. These will be for the next release 0.6, and of course a lot of documentation too, which I haven't done still. I should be doing it. But yeah, that was the plans for the engine and the community updates. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to write them up. I'll answer. And the link below is the link to the engine itself, which includes the Discord link. So make sure to join there if you want to see the community updates directly and live.
Awesome. So we do have one question here in chat, and so the question is Nscript on GitHub? It sounds pretty interesting.
I think it is, but probably not. I don't have the link to it myself because the author of the Inscript wanted to announce it himself, but wasn't able to make time for this meetup. So I'll try to talk with him, and make sure to join the Discord server so you can speak to him directly if you're interested there to use InScript.
Okay, that's super cool. So, I didn't understand it fully at first, but are you saying that this is like a new scripting language
Yeah,
for just like general scripting, or is it for Blue
yeah.
Engine in particular?
It is a scripting language generally built by a community member, which he is porting now to the engine. So it shows that scripting is possible to be binded to the engine.
Yeah, okay, that's super exciting. I'd love to find out more about that. I know in this space there's been like so Mun has been worked on for quite a while as like a scripting language in Rust. Though like its development is back and forth, and then I don't know if they've exposed their scripting language to any engines. And so yeah, this will be very cool to kind of see. Do you know if it's being written in Rust as well?
It is actually. It is
Okay.
written in Rust. It is being rebuilt too, so a new version of it. The syntax is inspired by AutoAid. I'm not sure what language that is because I haven't used it myself. And I think the Rust language have a lot of good scripting language. For example, Rye, which I've found out recently about, which is really cool language, and a lot of other ports or implementations of, for example, Lisp, like Game Lisp and things like that. It is pretty cool to have scripting language in the engine, but let's see how it goes.
For sure. So another thing I'm kind of curious about. So we showed off, and actually I'm just gonna bring it back up here. Or wait, no, I closed the window. One sec. So the game that was being worked on, you have like tile maps, and you have it's like some animations and some stuff that you can effectively get like a 2D platformer with. So what I was kind of curious about is with that having been implemented, and maybe it's not in the core engine like all of that just yet, but with that having been implemented, do you see this as something that someone could take this engine and use it to make a jam game? Like, of course, would be constraints about what the engine has, but do you see anything that is missing to be able to create a full game experience?
Oh yeah. So the engine as not being the for game development, there are some things missing. For example, audio support and networking, but it is actually ready to be used for game jams or game development in general. Because after 0.5 update, there has been a lot of issues that was fixed that was making the engine ready to be used in not production, but like similar to production and closed it. And yeah, the Pablo who made the game and is working on it, he's planning to expose all of it to GitHub publicly and make a library out of it. It was in his plans recently, so I'm excited on how that goes. And I'll be announcing it, of course, when the time comes on the next or maybe the other meetup. So let's see how it goes.
Perfect.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, this is super cool. I love seeing it's really cool seeing like the engine updates, but also hearing about what the community is doing. I think is like really like awesome to see the progress. And so yeah, I do hope to see some more cool things coming out from what people are working on. And it's always it's exciting to see like new explorations and what Rustic game engines can look like. So Alham, thank you very much for presenting this month. And we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Thank you, everyone. See ya.